Okay, in this problem, we're talking about selling cell phones. And they said that they make cell phones and they have a marginal cost function given here. So I graphed it, it's a parabola. And where x is equal to the number of phones, and the marginal revenue function is given by this line right here, 429 minus 2x. We want to find the area between the two curves and x is 0. So I think I shaded that, right? So the area between the two curves below the line minus below the parabola will give you the area between the two, right? So I think we're going to have to do some subtraction. But first, let's figure out what the heck x is here, because we have to know we're going to use integration, right, to find this area. So we have to figure out what the limits are. So we know that x goes from 0 to something. So how do we find that something? We have to find where these two intersect. So how do we find where they intersect? We set the two functions equal to each other. Right, so we set those two equal to each other, and then I moved everything over onto one side. And so I added 2x to both sides. And what did I get? A minus x. And then I subtracted 429 from both sides. And I get that. Okay? Sorry, mental lapse there. So then I don't like these like decimal points, so I multiplied everything. I divided everything by 0.01 to get x squared out by itself, and if you divide 0 by 0.01, it's still 0, right? So I end up with this when I divide everything by 0.01. Okay, so get x squared minus 100x minus 20,000. So then I'm going to defoil. So factors of x, factors of negative 20,000 add up to negative 100. So I think I figured out that's plus 100 minus 200. So if you FOIL that, you'll get this right back at you. So then you use that zero product rule and you set both of these factors equal to 0. So the x equals negative 100, x equals 200. So this has to be the 200, right? So this has to be the 200 there. So now we know what our limits of integration are. They go from 0 to 200. And what do we got to do? We got to subtract the line minus the parabola, right? So the line minus the parabola. So I can write it like this. The line is r of x, right? Minus the cost. That's what we have to do. So what is the line? It's 429 minus 2x minus the whole costing. And that's all dx, right? So now I have to combine characters, and this is what like terms. I don't know what I'm saying today. 0 to 200. When I combined like terms, I got 200 plus x minus 0.01 x squared. That's what I got when I combined all the like terms. Okay, so then we just have to take the antiderivative at this point. So let's see. Antiderivative of 200 is 200x. Antiderivative of x is x squared over 2, right? And then antiderivative of 0.01 x squared is 0.01 x cubed over 3. And that all goes between 0 and 200. Okay, so it's pretty good because we got a 0. So that just goes to 0. So let's plug in. So when we plug in, we get 200 times 200 plus 200 squared over 2 plus 0.01 times 200 cubed to 0, right? Because when you plug a 0 in, all those three terms go to 0. So what did I end up getting? Oof, I ended up getting 40,000 plus 20,000. Oh, I made a mistake. There should be a minus here, you guys. Minus 26,666.667. So I ended up getting approximately 33,333.33. So that represents the area between those two curves in x going from 0 to 200. What does it mean in reality? What does it really mean? Well, think about it. What are we doing? We're doing revenue minus cost. So what you take in minus what it costs to make them, what's that? That's your profit. So that area is actually representing your profit for making these cell phones. Okay? So I hope that helps. Sorry about the mistakes.